Hi everybody, Paul Cameron here from SpeedUpMyJobSearch.com with a clip from our monthly jobs-driven networking group, which meets in Wheaton, Illinois every third Thursday. Let's take a look.
Okay, so let's jump into this. When Paul and I started talking, he was talking about how this is a networking event, and we wanted to tie in resumes to networking, which is why I came up with high-level networking, high-level resume. Have any of you been in the position where you have walked someone else's resume into a boss or HR or a manager just saying, this is a really good person, this is a friend of mine, you should take a look at this person? You have? When you were taking that trip into the HR office or wherever, did you happen to look at the resume? What would you think if that person who you decided, I'm going to help you, I'm going to extend myself, I'm going to give you my resources, I'm going to make a personal introduction for you, what would happen if you looked at that resume and there was a typo, crazy formatting, maybe Comic Sans font?
I sent it back to the guy and told him we need to fix this before I submit it.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have sent it.
Absolutely. Because not only were you standing up for this candidate, you were actually like underwriting this candidate in a way, right? I've been in that situation before where I wanted to vouch for someone that I knew when a company I was working with was hiring. And I get this person's resume and say, oh, I don't really want to put my name on, put my name behind this. We have to do some work on it. So that brings us to this topic today. High-level networking requires a high-level resume. If you want someone else to underwrite, to support you in your job search, you have to make sure that your materials are really good, because it's not just the HR person that's going to look and judge you, basically. It's also the person who has decided that they're going to stick up for you. So the ResuMAYDAY Philosophy. Can everyone see the screen, by the way? Okay, excellent. ResuMAYDAY Philosophy. My company is ResuMAYDAY. You're going to hear that name a lot. So ResuMAYDAY is my company, and I have a philosophy. My philosophy is this, two parts. The first part of my philosophy is the resume that gets the most face time with the reader of the resume generally gets the interview. Think about that. The resume that gets the most face time with the reader, the person reading the resume, generally gets the interview. So based on that, you are hoping that your resume is going to create face time. Okay, and actually, if you want to follow that, I'm going to jump ahead, but if you want to take it one step further, the candidate in the interview that gets the most face time with the interviewer generally gets the job offer. So it's all about face time. It's all about great face time. The second official, I know I kind of jumped ahead, but the second official part of my philosophy is no wimps allowed. No wimps allowed. That's terribly important today. What do I mean by that? Do I mean, the most brazen, outspoken person? No, not whatsoever. What I mean is this. The job search that everyone in this room is conducting today looks nothing like the job search that you conducted 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago. And that's what I mean by no wimps allowed. You have to be willing and able to comfortably work with all of these new tools. Does anyone have what's known as a functional or a skills-based format with your resume? I have an example of one in the next slide, so if you're not sure, I'll show you. Actually, let me flip to there now. So this is a functional resume. All sorts of wrongness going on here, okay? All sorts of wrongness, and we'll take it from the top. What are some of the problems that you see with this candidate?
At AOL.
At AOL, absolutely. What does it mean if you've got an AOL email address?
You're not with it.
You're not with it. You're out of touch. If you've got an AOL email address that you're using, jump on your phone right now, or I will lend you my phone. That's how important it is. Jump on Gmail. Just get a Gmail. What's the next issue that you might see here? Yes, the objective statement. Show of hands, does anyone have an objective statement on your resume? Oh, I'm in a room full of super smarties. I love it. Okay, so you do not want an objective statement. I will pick on that in just a little bit. I will show you what we're going to do instead. So the next thing, next problem with a functional format, what are we looking at here? We have the summary of achievements. What happens is that the candidate puts so much attention into the summary of achievements. This is where all the brain power goes to, all the time and energy goes to creating that summary of achievements. And then they create their work history here in just a table, so it's the position, where they worked, and the time. Here's the problem with that. A recruiter, an employer, is never going to look and say, well, let's take a look at this third one. Here we go. Successfully closed 25 sales in 4.5 months. Take a look at this. For those of you who can clearly see this, take a look at this and tell me which job that happened at. We have no way of knowing. We have no way of knowing, and here's the problem. There is not a recruiter or a hiring manager on earth who is going to puzzle piece your history for you. Employers and recruiters want to first know where and when you last worked. So they're going to flip past that anyway and go down to the work history to see where and when you last worked. And then, like I said, they're not going back up saying, let me see, I think this one maybe goes here, and maybe this one goes here, and this one goes here. That's not happening. That's not happening. So this resume, this format gets you no traction whatsoever in your job search. Okay, so you always want to stick with the chronological. Let me flip back. Here we go. Okay, chronological format. It's easy to follow. Boom, 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 boom. People know exactly what they're looking for, where they're going to find it on that page. And this is awful. It's awful. It's harsh, but it's true. Recent equals relevant. So the most face time that your resume is getting is on your most previous employer. Objective versus summary statement. This is key, and I'm going to tell you something. For me, a summary statement is my favorite part of the resume. If it's written well, it will entice and inspire people to read the rest of your resume. I'm going to tell you something. My goal when I write a summary statement, when my writers, I have 6 resume writers that work for me, when we write summary statements, our goal is to write a summary statement that is so customized that only one person on earth, our client, can claim it. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Okay? You guys are going to get how to do this. Objective statements, what's the problem with them? What is a typical objective statement? To obtain a challenging position in a growing company that utilizes my skills in education and blah, 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 right? Absolutely. So what are you saying? Hey, employer, you better be a growing company. You better use my skills. You better use my education. Is that how employers like conversations to start with potential candidates? Yeah, not so much. Buzzwords versus keywords. How many of you, show of hands, how many of you are hardworking? How many of you are dedicated? How many of you are loyal? How many of you are results oriented? How many of you are highly motivated? But here's the thing. Look at your own resumes. Really look at your own resumes and your summary statement, even maybe through some of the bullets. Do you have these words? Are you using these words? If you are, you're wasting real estate. No one ever got hired. No one ever got an interview because they said on their resume that they were hardworking. They have no meaning. These words have absolutely no meaning. Instead, what we're looking for with keywords, I went through and I picked out 3 common positions: accounting, an admin assistant, financial analyst. And these are the keywords of those 3 positions. Now, where did I get these from? Everything I need to find information like this it's on Google. It's on Google. So this isn't any like trade secret that you have to pay a lot of money to get. I got every single one of these from Google. So whatever your position is, if you go and do a Google search and put in resume keywords in quotes, and then accountant, administrative assistant, whatever it is, you will find the keywords. These are the keywords that you have to have peppered throughout your entire resume. And as a resume writer, let me say that I serve 2 masters. When I'm writing a resume, I serve 2 masters. The first one is the ATS. Absolutely. The second one is the human reader. And that's because that's the order it happens. So when I first write every single resume, you better believe it's going to be ATS compatible. It's got the keywords. It's got the right formatting. No boxes. And I'll go through some of that at the end. But I first write for the ATS, and then I write for the human reader. Okay, so remember that. So any of these ATS tips that you're getting from either of us or from other sources, remember them. So when you get a chance to learn more about ATS, take that chance, because this stuff is critical. And by the way, does anyone know Have you heard how many, what percentage of resumes get kicked out by ATS? Yeah, I mean, technically the last I heard was up to 74%. Oh, and wait a minute, actually, let me clarify that. So, up to 74% of resumes are kicked out before they're even scanned, just based on formatting issues. I'm sorry, I needed to clarify that, my mistake. Up to 74% of resumes are kicked out solely because of formatting, not even because of content. So then after that, it's going to, from that lower, much lower amount, it's going to kick out more people because they didn't have the right keywords, or they didn't have the right qualifications or degree or whatever it is. So, you know, ATS gets you from here to here very quickly, very quickly. And here's the thing, if you're really good at your job, you should already have an idea of what the keywords are, right? They should kind of flow like DNA. If I'm writing, I mean, I am the one who actually on a Friday night, I will post on Facebook, yay, I'm updating my resume tonight, woohoo! People are like, yeah, notice you're not invited to any parties or anything. Nope. But I love updating my resume. I love updating my friends' resumes just if I've got some time on a Friday night, and I literally will do that, which is crazy. But you know, just making sure all the keywords are there and playing around with it, and you know, seeing what we can do to get better results, because I have access to, but it's an online free ATS. But boy, once I got 100%, I was like, party, and I realized, yeah, this probably is not Facebook worthy, but I posted anyway. So, but watch your keywords. They're everything. They're everything.
I hope that was helpful for you, and please check out the rest of our YouTube channel for more tips and strategies to help you with your job search. Just look for Speed Up My Job Search, all one word, or use the link on your screen now. Now, if you'd like to join us at our next meeting, just go to drivestaff.com/JDNG for details. Each month we cover a different aspect of networking to help you sharpen your networking skills and to help you build your network with the other attendees. Now, if the location or the time doesn't work for you, we do have an online version available as well, and you can still network with us in our online private member forum. I'd love to meet you at the next one, so I hope you can make it. Thanks for watching.